New report finds New Orleans Recreation Department, also known as NORD, is failing to maintain criminal background checks for many of its volunteer coaches.
The city's inspector general released a letter today calling attention to what he calls potential danger to kids. Tan Trung brings us more details.
The inspector general's findings about gaps in background checks are part of a larger and upcoming report. But IG Ed Michel says he felt the need to send out a warning as soon as possible.
But we're sharing these urgent findings now to help mitigate potential danger to our children as the summer approaches.
The Office of Inspector General found NORDC had current background checks for roughly half of the volunteer coaches for its youth sports programs last year. According to the OIG's letter, more than 250 coaching applications were reviewed and 50 coach files were sampled. Of those sampled, the OIG found 8 coaches had signed background check authorization forms, which NORDC never processed through the sheriff's office. Even when background checks were on file, administrators seemingly did little to check the status of warrants or criminal prosecutions, the letter said. One background check reportedly showed a coach had an active warrant for simple battery and 46 criminal charges going back 2 decades.
In fact, our office found several active coaches had potentially disqualifying criminal histories or pending charges, but there was no documentation showing the outcomes of those charges.
I grew up in the community, and a lot of the guys that mentor us at the parks were guys that we would see every day.
Community organizer Earl Hagan says safety rules and guidelines must be followed, but he hopes the report won't discourage potential volunteers, who Hagan says offers so much to kids.
Spiritual support, the mental support, father figure support, so I just pray that the kids don't feel the residuals of this.
NORDC issued a statement appreciating and accepting the OIG's findings. It says most of those findings deal with last year's athletic season, but added, quote, "While NORD maintained background check requirements and coach certification standards, our internal processes for tracking, documenting, and reviewing coach applications and background checks did not consistently meet the standards our participants and families deserve." NORD says it's improving reviews and record keeping, and any coaches that don't meet the requirements of being a volunteer have been notified that they cannot participate in athletic programs. In New Orleans, Tan Trung, Fox 8.